A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant legal ruling, U.S. District Judge Karin Immergut has issued a permanent injunction preventing President Donald Trump from deploying National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon. This decision marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing struggle between federal authority and state rights, particularly in the context of protests against the administration's immigration policies. The ruling follows a series of legal battles that began when the Trump administration sought to mobilize National Guard units amid escalating protests against immigration and customs enforcement (IC) actions. Last month, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals had temporarily reinstated a previous order from Judge Immergut, which halted the deployment of Oregon National Guard troops to Portland. The legal contention centers around whether the president's actions constituted an abuse of military power, as critics argue that such powers should only be invoked in genuine emergencies, such as an invasion or armed rebellion. Judge Immergut, appointed by Trump himself, concluded that there was no evidence of a rebellion or any imminent danger that would justify the federalization of National Guard troops. In her ruling, she stated, "This court arrives at the necessary conclusion that there was neither a rebellion or danger of a rebellion, nor was the president unable with the regular forces to execute the laws of the United States in Oregon when he ordered the federalization and deployment of the National Guard." The implications of this ruling are profound, as it sets a precedent for the limits of presidential power regarding military deployment within U.S. cities. Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield hailed the ruling as a significant victory for the rule of law, emphasizing that the president cannot unilaterally send troops into the state without a legal basis. Portland's Mayor Keith Wilson also expressed his approval, stating that the decision reaffirms the city's stance and protects the community from unwarranted military presence. The Trump administration's legal team had argued that the situation in Portland warranted federal intervention due to what they described as a violent siege against federal agents. However, local officials contested this narrative, asserting that the violence was isolated and effectively managed by local law enforcement. The ruling comes amidst a backdrop of heightened tensions and protests across the nation, particularly in cities governed by Democratic leadership, where the administration's policies have faced fierce opposition. The Trump administration is expected to appeal this ruling, and the case could potentially escalate to the U.S. Supreme Court, where the balance of federal and state powers will be further scrutinized. As the legal battles continue, the question of military involvement in domestic law enforcement remains a contentious issue, with advocates on both sides passionately defending their positions. The ruling not only affects the deployment of National Guard troops in Portland, but also raises broader questions about the extent of presidential authority in times of civil unrest. As this legal saga unfolds, it will be crucial to monitor how these decisions shape the future of governance and civil liberties in the United States. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.